Welcome to Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter, writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com and CFLNewsHub.com. I'm here to talk about football today on Football Scientific. We're just going to clean up some of the loose ends from this weekend so far, review a few games, and look at some news. Big news was Shemar Stewart finally got signed by the Cincinnati Bengals. I put out a short last night about that, and there's an article on FootballAnalysisOne.com by me. Boop. Read some information after Adam Schefter broke the news, okay? I am joined today by my co-host, Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger here, fired up, ready to go, ready to fire this thing up. Let's get it out. Loose ends. We got loose ends to tie up. Loose ends. Yes, we got some loose ends. Some games have been played. We're just going to talk about that and get it going here, okay? So first, in the NFL, Las Vegas Raiders playing defensive tackle Keandre Coburn via waivers from the Titans. They let go of, Christian Wilkins. Got their money back, and now they've picked up Keandre Coburn. Boom. Cincinnati Bengals, as mentioned last night, boom, they have signed Shemar Stewart, first-round draft pick, to a fully guaranteed 4-year contract for $18.97 million, including a $10.4 million. If they would have just done that months ago, this would be done. This wouldn't even be a story had they did it months ago. Instead, they bought it and stretched it out and talked trash about it. Is it just free marketing? I heard ESPN radio talking about how Dallas makes these weird decisions because it's free marketing. Maybe the Bengals are doing it because it's free marketing because they gave him everything he wanted. After all these years, months of talking trash and not just giving it to him, why are we doing that? Trey Hendrickson is next. They're probably going to give him the money too. Why are they not doing it now and put him in training camp? Are they afraid he's going to get hurt in training camp? Maybe. Cleveland Browns, second-round pick, Quinshawn Judkins is the only 2025 draft class member not to be signed. And I doubt he will be signed. I'd be surprised if he gets signed after his legal troubles already. They would be easy just to not sign him and let him go underneath the rug, okay? And then the Bengals can pick him up through free agency for a real cheap price. Ooh, we've been wanting that. I thought they should have drafted him. I didn't think he's going to go crazy, but he fits the Bengals profile pretty well. Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Darnell Mooney has a shoulder injury and will be missing a few weeks, okay? Detroit Lions defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard says defenseman Aiden Hutchinson is better than ever. He's back from his injury and better than ever. Everyone says that this time of year, so he's saying it now too. He's back and better than ever. Okay. Miami Dolphins most overused coaching cliche in training camp. Miami Dolphins signed cornerback Jack Jones for a 1-year deal to replace cornerback Artie Burns. They probably shouldn't have got rid of Jalen Ramsey. But he was really pissed about the parking situation in Miami. So, you have to get rid of him. Miami Dolphins have signed former Bengals slot cornerback Mike Hilton. He signed a 1-year deal with the Dolphins after the Bengals waited and waited and waited, and the Bengals were not interested. They're like, no, bro, Dak Still's going to be your job. He's like, I'm better than him. And they're like, whatever. He's old. He's going to the Dolphins. They probably shouldn't have got rid of Jalen Ramsey. It's probably a bad call. They keep picking up cornerbacks now. So the Vikings, they have reached an agreement with safety John Metellus. He's already been on the roster. They're giving him a 3-year, $36 million contract extension worth up to a max value of $42 million with incentives. He gets $25 million guaranteed. That's a pretty good deal. Tennessee Titans. Boom. Today, they lost wide receiver Treylon Burks to a fractured collarbone. And they have now signed former Raiders wide receiver Ramel Keaton to take his place. Okay, they had an injury. They already got some injury. They already fall apart. Tennessee. Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell says the UFL will be a great official NFL farm system. I don't know if the UFL became the NFL farm system, that would be their number one move. Because if you remember, you probably don't remember, but several decades ago, when the CFL tried to come to the United States and it didn't go well, they almost went broke. And the NFL bought into the CFL and kept them alive until the CFL kind of restructured itself and got itself back on its feet. They wanted the CFL to stay around, so they helped them out financially. They partially owned the league until the CFL was back to being independent, and then they got out of it. That would be best case scenario for the UFL. UFL's hurting. If the NFL saw value in the UFL, which head coach of Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, sees, then they would put money into it, help them out, and then break away when it's back on its feet. I just don't think anyone really believes that league is worth it. It's just a bad plan, okay? But we'll see what happens. Minnesota Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy has thrown multiple interceptions in camp today. He's lighting it up. He's out there throwing picks. Perfect fit for J.J. McCarthy. I'm glad to see the Vikings are going to really have egg on their face after getting rid of Sam Darnold, after talking so much trash about Sam Darnold. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders is not getting first-team reps and has had limited reps yesterday with the first team with any offense. It's looking like Shedeur Sanders might be the weakest link, or he's already got the starting job. It's hard to tell. It could go either way. With the Cleveland Browns, it could go either way. He could be the weakest link and be released, or he could be the starting quarterback, and they're just giving him a few reps to get the other guys, evaluated. Buffalo Bills have signed wide receiver Kelly Akaharaya, and they placed wide receiver David White on the retired list. I could see both receivers being cut from the team. UFL Indianapolis Colts, they have picked up from the Memphis Showboats in the UFL news. Indianapolis Colts have worked out from the Memphis Showboats defensive tackle Josiah Bronson today. And San Francisco 49ers have worked out Memphis Showboats edge rusher Jalen Allen today. Let's see if they found any diamonds in the rough. That's what they're looking for when they work out those UFL guys. Next, ELF. There were Saturday games today in the ELF, all linking up to the playoffs. Vienna Vikings come out and clinch the division against the Fairbairn Throners. There's a spoiler alert. Vienna Vikings traveled to Fairbairn, Hungary, and they passed for 343 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. They ran about for 162 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, and they had 1 quarterback sack. Fairbairn Throners, who've been putting up a pretty good fight recently, threw about 220 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's going to get you beat, and 40 rushing yards. They got whooped on 53-16 by the Vienna Vikings. Vienna Vikings are division winners, and they're fighting for that bye week now. Cologne Centurions, the train wreck that is the 2025 Cologne Centurions, traveled to the Paris Musketeers. Let's see, a nice trip to Paris. That's nothing else. That's good. Okay. Cologne came out. They passed for 121 passing yards, which they've been passing the ball fairly decent. 1 touchdown and 1 interception. That's bad news. They only ran the ball for 16 rushing yards. That's where they didn't get destroyed. It's on a line of scrimmage. They did get 1 quarterback sack. The Paris Musketeers threw the ball for 401 passing yards for 7 touchdowns and no interceptions. Ouch. And they ran the ball for 265 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns and had 6 sacks. That's domination. Paris Musketeers knock off Cologne Centurions 74-7. Ouch. And that's why I have Paris as my last playoff team. People are saying Rhine Fire. I say Paris is way better than a Rhine Fire, but you can't tell because of playing Cologne Centurions, who are horrible. Next, T-Roll Raiders looking to get their win to move up to 6-4, so they can keep pace with the Paris Musketeers for that last playoff spot in the ELF. We have a few weeks left to play. T-Roll Raiders traveled to Madrid. They played the Madrid Bravos in Spain. They threw for 170 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Pretty solid game. They ran for 207 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack. That's pretty competitive. But Madrid Bravos probably were the best offense in the league. It's not Nordic Storm and maybe Vienna Vikings. Threw for 358 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Yeah, Reed Sinnett was on top of things along with Aaron Krushank. And they ran for 239 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. They won every way you can, okay? They won every way you can. They won in turnovers. They won in rushing yards. They won in passing yards. Domination. Madrid Bravos beat T-Roll Raiders 54-28, putting T-Roll behind the 8-ball for playoffs. And essentially, now they're 6-3. They're just taking steps towards claiming their playoff spot for the Madrid Bravos. They should probably be 7-3. I don't know. They're just moving up and taking their playoff spot. I have them as the 5th seed right now. And that really hurts the T-Roll Raiders' odds of making the playoffs right now. So that's how it's going. There's going to be more games tomorrow, so we'll go through all that. We'll do power rankings for that on Monday or Sunday or whatever. We'll see. Okay. In the CFL, we got more games tonight. We got a rematch of last year's Grey Cup game. Winnipeg Blue Bombers traveling to Toronto Argonauts. We believe the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will win that, but there's a bunch of transactions leading up to that game. Winnipeg Blue Bombers have extended on single-game injury list American linebacker Jonathan Jones, American wide receiver Dillian Mitchell, American offensive line Stanley Bryant, National defensive lineman Tanner Schmeckel, National long snapper Mike Benson, American running back Peyton Logan. They moved to the 6-game injured list National linebacker Lane Novak, and they added from the practice roster National DB Ethan Hall. So Winnipeg is beat up. Everyone's kind of beat up this time of year. If you're playing CFL football, you're probably beat up this time of year. BC is awfully healthy. I don't know why. Toronto Argonauts, they extended on the single-game injury list. National linebacker Jack Kasser, American defensive lineman Celestin Haba, American quarterback Chad Kelly. That's the big one. That's why they're going to lose that game. They extended on the 6-game injured list. American defensive lineman Brian Cox. They moved to the 6-game injured list. National defensive lineman Tyson Herget. And they added from the practice roster National linebacker Stephen Smith. Okay, so those things are playing tonight. I got Winnipeg winning that game. 27-24. It'd be kind of a close game, so it could be an entertaining game. Calgary Stampeders, they keep defeating us in football scientific predictions. You just can't get a read on them. They got the quarterback hurt. I don't know, but they made some more moves after they lost on Thursday. They moved to the single-game injury list American offensive lineman Joshua Coker, National linebacker Justin Herdman Reed, American quarterback Josh Love. Notice they did not move Vernon Adams Jr. to the injury list, which I figured they would after concussion. So they'd probably be out 2 weeks, but that concussion may not be real. Okay. Boom. Add for practice roster National running back Ludovic Chaquette and American offensive line Preston Nichols. They have been added for the practice roster for the Calgary Stampeders for next week. Montreal Alouettes, they have added to the practice roster American defensive back Robert Kennedy, and they moved to the single-game injured list American defensive back Najee Murray. Boom. Okay, and the CFL last night, Edmonton Elks traveled to Saskatchewan. Edmonton was 1-4. Saskatchewan was 5-1. Saskatchewan had a great chance. They won this game to take control of the West Division over Calgary. I said it past tense. We'll see what happens. So Edmonton came out. Trey Ford played exceptionally well. 346 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a good game. But they only ran for 25 rushing yards. Ouch. 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Okay, Stephen Dunbar Jr., formerly Ham Tiger Cat, and Kason Julian Grant. They had receiving touchdowns from Trey Ford. They had 1 sack defensively. Saskatchewan Roughriders, with their opportunity to take control of the West, they threw the ball for 268 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a clean game by Trevor Harris. They ran the ball for 66 rushing yards, but had 1 fumble. They had 8 sacks of Trey Ford. That's going to give you a narrow Saskatchewan Roughriders 21-18 victory over the Edmonton Elks. I saw a lot of Saskatchewan fans complaining about them only winning by 3 points over the Elks. But come on, it's professional football. The fact they got the wins, all that really matters. And both teams played well. Both teams played well in that game. Luckily, Saskatchewan held on. That means we were right. Okay, in the IFL, now there are 4 IFL games on tonight. Here starting at 7, so that's right around the corner. But in the IFL, we got the Bay Area Panthers traveled to the Mass Pirates last night. I knew Bay Area was going to rest some people. I figured Mass would get a win here, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Bay Area did rest people. They did rest their quarterback, but they still threw for 100 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. It's a clean game. They had 141 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 sacks. It's a pretty good game of Bay Area on the road. Mass Pirates threw for 55 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Ouch. Kenji Bahar still throwing interceptions like everything. And they had 82 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 sack. And that means Mass loses the end of the season. Bay Area is locked in at the top spot, and they're ready to roll into the playoffs next week. Okay, Iowa Barnstormers, they traveled to the Fishers Freight. Once again, the Iowa would finish strong. I figured Fishers would come out and want to put out a good show for the fans, keep them getting season tickets, and get their 7th win, which is not bad for a expansion team in IFL. What went down? Iowa Barnstormers threw for 261 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Ouch. They only ran the ball for 6 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. They have been the worst rushing team in IFL, which is why they're 1 and whatever. Fisher's Freight came out, threw the ball for 113 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. That's a clean game. And they ran the ball for 132 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. That's domination. They had 3 sacks. Fisher's Freight destroys the Iowa Barnstormers 81-40. Iowa's really got to rethink their situation, man. They're getting crushed. All right, so Shemar is with the Bengals. Everything's coming together there. We're waiting for Trey Hendrickson. He deserves his contract. Just give him his contract, okay? We got IFL games on tonight. We got CFL game on tonight. Check out my shorts for my predictions. Boo. Tyler, you got anything to add to our quick weekend episode? Sometime we're going to do a preview of the American Athletic Conference called the American Conference, and Soar the Eagle may join us. He's not going to join us. I don't know if he exists. Whatever. He might join us. We'll see. Okay? Have a great day. Remember, check out footballanalysis1.com to read NFL articles and fantasy football articles. Check out CFLnewshub.com to check out CFL news. And then, did you do something with that? Yeah, I did something. I added depth charts for Hamilton Tiger Cats and BC Lions for tomorrow night's matchup on there. Oh, good. And subscribe to the channel. We're 2 away from 100 subscribers. 2 away. That's it. 2 away from 100. That's going to be a pretty good day. And like the videos so you get more of them. If there's something you want to see us do, let us know and we will add it in. Okay? That's how it goes. We serve you, the football-loving public. We're breaking it down. Break it down. Okay, yep, we broke it down today. We didn't use our tagline like we were supposed to, I guess, but oh well. All right, let's break it down. Let's watch some football tonight. Have a good night. Football Scientific Portal is closed.